Holy cow, it is Hot Wheel Day. I am so excited. Don't go away. Hey everybody, it's Paul from Fat Guy Productions coming to you as always from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, and I am super excited because it's finally Hot Wheel Day. Don't get me wrong, I've been loving doing the Matchbox restorations, but I really dig Hot Wheels, and I just didn't have any. I mean, I'm not going to pay $30 for clunkers. And the stuff that I had in the house, it either didn't need it or I wasn't going to do it, so that kind of left me high and dry. Now, I have finally found some on Amazon, and I've got some things coming, not Amazon, but Fleabay. So I've got some Hot Wheels coming in that are going to be in future episodes. But in rooting through all of my scraps, I did find this car. So let's get right to it. It is indeed Hot Wheel Day. I am so excited. I can't tell you. I just don't have any Hot Wheels, and I'm not going to spend $30 for a piece of junk. But I do have this beat-up Beatnik Bandit. Let's see what we can do with it. We'll start by taking it apart using my Vix Bit method, and this car is just like it's made for this, because it's got these little indents and the Vix Bits sit right inside of them. It's just a thing of beauty. It really is. I can't believe how great this is. So we'll get these posts drilled out and get the car taken apart. Look at that. Look at the beauty of this. Look at that. A thing of beauty. Alright, we've got the post drilled out. We'll take my little helper and we'll just pop the base off. Comes right off. Well, maybe it'll come right off. Well, while I'm struggling with this, a word of warning with these Beatnik Bandits. Don't be planning to mix parts from the Hong Kong and US cars, because it ain't happening. The base, the interior, the bubble, the motor, they're all different. So if you're going to be redoing one of these cars, you got to make sure you got all the right parts. This thing is in pretty sad shape. No bubble. A little piece of the old bubble kind of stuck to the body. I'm not sure what's going on there, but there it is. This thing's a real mess. Well, at least 25% of the paint is gone. Why don't we help the other 75% disappear as well? We'll bust out a little of my paint stripper, brush it on, and watch the magic happen. This old Spectra Flame paint comes off pretty easy with this stripper, and it's one of my favorite parts. I just love watching it kind of dissolve. I have to tell you, after the last restoration, the paint fought me every step of the way. So a car like this, it's a welcome respite where, you put the stripper on, wait just a couple minutes, and then you can just kind of essentially scoop it off with your paintbrush. After the stripper, I'll take the car and I'll wash under some clean water and hit it with a toothbrush. And then I'll attack the car with my dental picks and brass bristle brush. Yeah, you remember, I can't say that. And I'll finally hit it with some 4.0 steel wool. And I gotta be perfectly honest, as bad as the paint was on this car, the body is shining up really nicely. It's kind of catching me off guard here. I thought it might need some zinc or something like that, but it's looking like it's not going to need anything except steel wool. See what I mean? Look at that. Look how nice that looks. I gotta be honest, I don't think I'm gonna do anything else to this except run some isopropyl alcohol all over it and then wash it with a little soap and water. I did notice some rough spots here right on the nose of the car, but you know, it's a really thin piece and the kids are crashing it into stuff. So I'm just gonna kind of take off a couple of the burrs here real quick. But other than that, I think this body is ready to go. So as soon as I'm done here, we're going to head to paint. I love painting with the Spectra Flame paint. And for those of you who've seen my Matchbox videos where I'm using the Redline Shop clear urethane clear coat, that's what this is really, except it's got color in it. So if I lay it down the same way I would lay down the clear coat, I won't need a clear coat. This stuff is going to come out just shining like a penny. So I'll start with a nice tack coat, just enough to barely see a tint of color. Then I'll start to lay down a couple medium coats, pulling up short of my final color. And then I'll finalize it with just one or two nice wet coats so that I get the beautiful, clean, smooth, wet look finish and the color that I'm looking for. Since this is a restoration, I will be going back to the orange that this car was when I started. Like I've said, when putting down the wet coat, lighting is imperative. Look right here, and you should be able to see this paint laying down. You see that right there? See how you can see it going down? That's what you're looking for. If you can't see that, you better change your lights or change your angle or something, because that's how you're going to get a high quality paint job on these cars. And look at that. Look at that. No runs, no sags, just shine. Oh, it's so great. Best paint in the world to paint with. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to let the body sit for about 3 days so I can turn my attention to the base. The front two wheels are already gone, so I'm just going to take my cutters and cut off these back wheels. Now, I could pop these off. These are those kind of twisted, springy little axles, and you can replace these, but why replace something that doesn't need it? Right now, if I cut these old wheels off, which I'm going to replace anyhow, I can put the new wheels on, straighten out the old axles, and the car should be good as new. Okay, tires are gone. Now it's time for some flitz polish. I had already gone over this base with the brass bristle brush and some steel wool. So now I'm going to dab at it with a little bit of the flitz, and then I'm going to take my rotary tool and give it a good polish. Boy, this thing is going to look amazing. It's always imperative to remember, though, when you're doing just a bare bones base and you're not going to put any paint on it or anything like that, you're going to have to cover it somehow with some kind of a clear coat or something like that. Because if you don't, the oxidation is going to come back and it's going to start to darken up on you pretty quickly, and who needs that? And tell me that base doesn't look factory fresh, huh? Beautiful. Okay, while bereft of the chrome finish, the motor's actually all there and looks pretty good. So I'm going to break out the Molotov chrome pen. I'll pump it into one of those little cups to get it flowing nice and smooth. And then I'll just go ahead and lay it on nice and thick so it gets that perfect chrome shiny finish. And then I'll set this aside to dry for at least a full day, maybe more. This Molotov chrome takes forever to dry. Don't rush it. For some projects, I think this chrome is a little too shiny and kind of out of scale, but not for a Hot Wheel or a Matchbox. Look at that. That is absolutely perfect. Okay, I hope you can see it. This interior and canopy are gonna work. They're gonna have to work, it's all I have, but can you see the giant scratch in the canopy? I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that completely out. But to do it, I'm going to go ahead and wet sand this down, going through progressively finer grit sandpapers, and just get it down as much as I dare. After that, we'll polish it up with some flitz, and then, of course, we're going to take it swimming in some gauzy. Alright, I've done about as much sanding on this as I think I can or should. So I'll put a little flitz on here, kind of rub it in with my finger, and then I'll break out the buffing pad on the rotary tool and shine this sucker up. After polishing, I'll wash it down really well in some warm soapy water, and then it's time for a bath in gauzy. It's going to make this thing really, really nice. Yeah, I can still see it, but
short of replacing this canopy, I don't think I'm going to be able to get any better than that. So we're just going to have to live with it, and if it really drives me nuts, that's the advantage of screwing these cars back together. I can always order a replacement canopy and change it out at a later date. After the bath and gauzy, I'll go ahead and go to a paper towel and wick off the extra. Then I'm going to drop this down onto a paper plate and cover it so it can sit to dry without getting anything stuck into it. Okay, so now it's time to pop on some brand new wheels and get everything lined up. There's an awful lot of slop in the bushings, so this car is not always going to sit right or roll right, but I can sure make it look a lot better than it used to. I'm going to take my little alignment tool and put it behind the bushing so when I push the tire on I don't damage anything, and it will help set the spacing between the wheel and the frame. And boy, we are almost ready for the track. Look at that. Okay, so now I'm going to get out my metallic red Sharpie, and I'm just going to color in the taillights. I kind of like the look of this better than the regular red. It almost makes them look transparent. So I'm going to stick with this because I really like the way it looks. Alright, there's no time to keep screwing around here. It's time to put this car back together. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop this motor down. It's just got two little clips, so I'm going to kind of lay it in there with the front one in place and hold that down with a toothpick. Then I'll take another one to the back of the motor and just kind of snap it down. There it goes. It's back in and looks great. Now the window that's been sitting for about 24 hours, we can uncover that. Boy, it sure looks nice. Yeah, I know, I can still see the scratch in it, but the rest of it just looks so amazing. It kind of takes away from the fact that there's that little scratch still in it. Okay, so we'll flip the car over and we'll get the interior. We'll put that back together with the canopy, and then we'll go ahead and just drop it into the body. Alright, now we can go ahead and marry the base to the body, and then throw some screws in it, and we're just about done here. Now there is an issue with the Beatnik Bandit, and it's probably why you don't see a lot of videos of restorations on them. The posts are terrible. The back post is about the standard thickness that everybody is used to, but it's really, really short. It's just barely long enough to hold the screw. So if you drill too aggressively, you're going to go right through the back of the car. The front one is the real problem though. The front one is exceptionally short and very, very thin, and won't take a 56 screw. So here what I've done is I've drilled as deep as I dare go, and I'm using just a little 72 screw, and I'm going to screw that in, and as long as I'm as deep as I can go without coming through the roof of the top of the car, I should be okay. But it's really, really just fine margins here. There's not a lot of room for error. And here she is, all buttoned up and ready for the track.
All right, there you have it. The Beatnik Bandit in all its glory. I am super happy with the way this thing came out. And I can't wait to do some more Hot Wheels and, yes, more Matchbox for all of you guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and click subscribe. Ask any questions or make any comments that you might have. I really do read them all and try and answer them, at least give you a little howdy-ho. All right, this has been Paul from Fat Guy Productions. I'm going to get out of here. Until next time, have an amazing day and be good.